All right. So, hello, everybody. My name is Ileana Rosas, NLP sales trainer, and I'm here with a wonderful friend and mentor, Robert Szentes. And I wanted to go ahead and share this video because we are both together getting into, or actually getting to helping lots of people dealing with their unconscious mind, especially myself. As an NLP sales trainer, I help people be able to develop their businesses with with learning the language of the subconscious mind, as well as getting themselves to peak performance and applying that to sales specifically. And so then here, I'm super excited to have with me today Robert Szentes, who has been an incredible person, changing so many lives, including my own. And I'll delve into a little bit more of that later. But Robert, if you wanted to go ahead, say hi and introduce yourself, and we'll jump right in.
All right. Hi, Ileana, and thank you so much for the kind introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Szentes, and Ileana already did such an awesome job introducing me. I have been a coach and a leadership coach, as well as the mindset coach, for about 10 years. And the focus has shifted over time. At first, I focused a lot on deep trauma and deep anxiety, and have become a really amazing expert at that. Have thousands of people worldwide overcome their deeply buried depression, anxiety, literally in just a few weeks, even if nothing else worked before. And today, I have expanded my coaching and focused on young men and who want to grow into that full package, who want to become that heart-based, leading-edge entrepreneur, have the confidence to take the next step, and then just grow into that much-needed, amazing warrior, the evolved warrior that the world needs more of.
Absolutely. Oh, fantastic. So wonderful, because that is so needed in this world right now, people to be able to rise up in their own empowerment, and especially you're able to relate so much to that community, helping young men develop into the best that they can be, which is absolutely needed just in this whole world. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
and
it's
so,
a pleasure.
Yeah. And so basically I want you to go ahead and get started in talking about confidence, something that's of utmost important for men and women across the world, because it applies to so many things, doesn't it? And I've been seeing that you've been doing a lot of work in helping people blast through their limitations and really get into confidence. And so as an expert of humans and psychology, and even deeper than that, then I wanted to just go ahead and ask you first, what exactly is confidence? Like, what is confidence really?
It's such a simple question, and I've been, I wasn't expecting the question, but it's really very appropriate. So I like that, because confidence is an ever-evolving thing. Like, say when you're 5, what confidence means to you is very different than when you're 60. Like, say that there's your first performance, maybe you go on stage at the age of 5 at Mother's Day, and, doing that requires a lot of confidence. When it's over, you just, you kind of pant, and, you have overcome something, you grew in the process. And when you're 16, and maybe it was the age, just give or take, right? Then you have your first kiss. It takes guts. It takes confidence to do that. And then when you go to college, that's another level. And when you get married, that's another level of confidence. And of course, most people unfortunately hit the midlife crisis. It takes confidence to actually address it properly. It takes confidence to recover from it. And when you're like in your later 50s or 60s and approaching retirement, it takes confidence to build your financial portfolio. It takes confidence to build your new friendships and engage in the world in a more purposeful way, where, the children are grown and you're pretty much just like a different person. So confidence really is, in my definition, the ability to adaptively welcome life, listening to our intuitive faculty, and then stepping into the new self every single day.
Wow.
Now, and you know this because you have done a lot of studies with me and on your own, is that that's not exactly what happens in most people's lives.
Right.
There are all these invisible thresholds, and if people don't have the training or the understanding or the knowledge, those invisible lines become hard stops. And that shows up in relationship quality, that shows up in their financial success, and also shows up in their health.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so you were saying that it's the intuitive, being able to tap into your intuitive faculty. What do you mean by intuitive faculty for those of us that are not familiar with that type of terminology? And why is tapping into your intuitive faculty important?
Okay, super, great question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you this. When I grew up in Budapest, Hungary, and my parents decided for me, and there's no resentment in this statement, my parents decided for me that I should go to a technical college. So I did. And why did they decide is because I was really good with my hands. I was already building circuits, electronic circuits. I loved it. I was good at it. So it made perfect sense to do it. Now, would I have intuitively done that myself without their guidance? No. I would have done something completely different. I probably would have gone into like a university of some sort and studied philosophy or something. So later in life, after I had all my troubles and my divorces and all the financial hardships, which were all a byproduct of my junk unconscious programs that I collected over the years and whatnot, I realized that every time I had that inkling, I had that intuitive sort of like little flag, hey, do this. You got a little voice sometimes.
That little voice inside our head, yep.
Yep. I should, the should have, would have, could have, I should have listened to that.
Right.
And that's the intuition that we either are not familiar with or we were untrained because there's so much other noise going on in the world and in the mind. It becomes very difficult to take it apart and differentiate. So confidence is, kind of back to your question, is to clear the mind of all the distractions, and that's a very complex thing, and then be able to intuitively almost predict the next step because it's always whispered to us.
Right. And so when we're trying to predict the next step, that is what you're saying, that, hey, we can confidently step into, I think what you said is confidently step into our true selves, I believe is the word that you used. And so
Ileana, you got muted here.
Oh, did I?
Okay. Would you repeat the last 7 seconds?
Yeah. That you mentioned that this is where people get to step into their true selves, And so, so that's what you mentioned for what confidence is. And so, what exactly do you mean true self? Because if I don't know, am I not my true self? How does that look like? And how does that affect my life?
I'll give you a really good answer, a really good analogy. If you have no worries in the world, no money, you have all the money you need, you have all the time you need, you have all the support you need, all the friends and the family support you need, then you kind of get to a point where if you're wired correctly and the mind is clean enough, you might want to start asking questions like, there's more to life than this, I know. What else is there? Okay? So, what was the question? I had an incoming call.
Stepping into our true selves. What does that mean?
True self. Okay.
Yeah.
True self. Okay. So, this is not something that is evident to most people, the true self, because the true self is buried under about 10,000 layers of junk, mental junk. Now, some people have it a little rougher, some people have it a little lighter. But the true self is that free-spirited self that is very talented. It's the free-spirited self that is extremely brave, willing to speak the truth, unapologetically, and then also willing and able to take the next step forward so that he or she can fulfill this sort of divine mission while interacting, with other humans to create the synergy that their inner self signed up for. So that would be one. It's very, very, very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the metaphor I was using, the other one was like what the true self is when we get rid of all of our excuses and the need to distort the truth.
Right.
Most people have a very difficult time with it. Uli and I have been listening to a lot of podcasts, and people, even the way they ask questions is so convoluted. I mean, we understand it because that's our job, as coaches, to hear the truth. But my God, like a simple 5 or 6 word sentence or question becomes like a paragraph, and it's still very convoluted. So the true self does not need convolution. The true self is willing to express. The true self is free. The true self is unafraid. And that's what we do. And that's what probably you experience, is how to go from this tiptoeing, apologetic, almost like a concerned and fearful state to a very loving state, delivering your question, delivering your truth without hurting others.
Right.
That's the true self that in my definition.
Yeah, I think I've experienced in my life, and probably a lot of people watching this can relate, where we're too afraid to be able to, number one, just be our real, just show off our real personality, be vulnerable, right? Show off our real personality because we put on like a face for the public. And then the thing is that then we're not really authentically being ourselves. And if we're not ourselves, how can we be confident, right? And it stops us from making decisions, number one, and it could be very important decisions. It could be like for a life partner. I know it's held me back before from starting a business, which now obviously I have. And it stopped me before from really just attempting grander things that I know could progress my life, but I was just too afraid, because it's like, what if? It's those voices that you were talking about earlier. What if, that's going to fail? Or what if, you've never done that before? Or of course, look at all this lifetime of evidence where you haven't succeeded before. And so, absolutely. And so, just like you were saying. And so isn't that a way that a lot of people like really experience it in their lives?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. And this is not something that, you should be in the mood for. It's something that people need to learn, because humanity as a collective species or group of people, we have amazing things to do. We have amazing talents, which most talents are hidden under a lot of our mental conflicts. But if we don't unarchive our talents, then we're going to sign up for a very painful journey.
Right.
So it's important to like really do this work, go deep within, and then start like eliminating what's in the way, and then start to recognize our gifts and our talents. And that's the real confidence. Even that has fears around it, Ileana. The fear of our talents and the fear of our greatness. But it may sound very simple, but it's quite a journey to get.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so then, if I can ask you then, how can the average person then, because a lot of people, all of us, I think everyone watching this, we consider ourselves, we're probably the average person, So how can the average person then be able to achieve not average things?
Okay. Well, obviously I know we don't have time to go through all the details, but first and foremost, they need to know what they want. That's already a huge problem. People have no clarity. Like, what's in your heart? What do you really want to do with mentorship? Because obviously there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. People need mentors because that otherwise becomes a very, very difficult journey. So step number one is to start doing a little bit of soul searching, a little bit of like feeling in the heart, like what's really is interesting to them. What is it that they would like to do? And of course, the moment they do that, or as they go through the process, they will likely find a ton of fears. Or what about the money? What about, what we call excuses? I'm not here to like say those, familiar terms, because that's very legit. But all of those fears, all of the concerns, and all of the circumstances can be changed and will be changed, guaranteed, when you follow the right recipe, the right strategy. So an average person, and I don't like that term much, I have to to say, because to me, everyone's exceptional. It's just, the fears are stifling to some more than others. What they need to do is understand that strategies alone will not make a damn difference. So in other words, if we give them step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as long as they are simple, super simple, they might be able to do it, but the mindset is not there to support the strategy. So the moment they want to go to the next level, the mindset is not going to be there. And mindset is not something that grows on trees. It's not something that, you learn in most school systems or universities. So this is something that you have to learn on the side from a mentor, from someone who achieved the success that you want and has been where you are today. So, I mean, I'm pretty much done, like explaining, because I could go on for hours, but this makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, they have to make a decision that they want it, which, more and more people are waking up and they say, yes, I want it. Okay, then we'll take them by the hand and we'll show them what it really takes. And then, we'll overcome one thing at a time. And the next thing, that they're achieving more, they're making more money, they're in a happier relationship, you're smiling, I could feel your energy, that's one of your success stories, right? So that's how it works. And every single one of us is granted that success. The only thing missing is people's willingness to go for it.
Wow. People's willingness to go for it. I love it. And so, thank you so much, because I know that I kind of want to wrap this up with a little bit of how, how this has all helped change my life. And then we could probably just ask real quick, how can people learn further from you, or how can people, what's the next steps for people? And so, basically for myself, I really loved being involved, getting in this whole conscious world, and you have been just an enormous part of that for myself, because from all the things that I've learned, that I've been able to help reprogram a whole lot of insecurities, a whole lot of things that have kept me from confidence. And since then, I've not only been able to have more clarity on myself and what I want, but really material things started happening, such as, I've lost 65 pounds, I let go of, right? 65 pounds. I've been able to start my own business, which I was so afraid to do before. I've been able to manifest the love of my life, and all of this happened relatively quickly. I mean, you knew me since before all of this, and all these changes happened pretty quickly in life when people really truly understand this information. So how can people get more of this, Robert? How can people get more of you? How can people get more of this information?
Certainly. We offer several different programs, and what we prefer to do is get on the phone with them, because this way we get to know them and we are able to assess where they are today. And once we understand that, then, we are a good fit, then we'll make a few recommendations. And as you said, we have a whole repertoire of products, a repertoire of coaching and courses, as well as a VIP private coaching. And it's not for everyone. It has to be, the good fit, as I mentioned. They have to have the right mindset. They have to be committed. They have to want to change. They have to really, really want to be a shining example like you. It really warms my heart to do this with you today, because I'm really proud of you. And not just as a mentor slash, because, it can be overrated, because, I'm a very different mentor than most. I don't do the abusive thing. I don't make you sit on the mountaintop for 10 days hungry and, come back and tell me what you learned kind of.
Right.
I don't like, it takes too long. It takes too long. I know the million different domains of the mind. I know, tell me this is what I want change. I'll tell you how to do it. So people can go onto our website, which is advancedmindinstitute.com. We will post it. We will post a link under this, and then take a look, and then reach out to us, and then we'll guide them to the next step.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, this is Robert Szentes of the Advanced Mind Institute. Thank you so much. And his website, again, was amindinstitute.com. And thank you. I really appreciate this. And a lot of people I know are going to be getting a whole lot of value from this information and from learning more from you. And so,
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so until next time, and hopefully we'll get to do more of these, we'll be able to see you. Take care. Thank you so much. All right.
Take care. Thanks for your time.